This is a video demonstration for the Horse in a Bag upgraded model. For all purchasers of original Horse in a Bag, you will receive upgraded parts free of charge. Parts will be shipped to the contact information on file. When you remove the hub assembly from the bag, you will notice there are 8 standoffs when you only need 4. The cone-shaped standoffs are used for all machines except for a Polaris. The Polaris requires the flat end standoffs. If you'll notice, we have spacers. If you have a deep inset on your wheel, you will be required to put at the end of your standoffs. If the spacers are not required, you will use the nuts and washers supplied to directly tighten the universal axle adapter. The universal axle adapter with the shaft will go onto your standoff or to the end of the spacers. Drum will then go onto the end of the shaft with a square lock and be tightened with a washer and nut. We'll now start the demonstration how to install the hub assembly. We'll start with removing 2 of your lug nuts at a time. And on this particular unit, we're going to leave the washers on after the lug nuts are removed. The reason we recommend doing 2 at a time is for safety, so the wheel is always supported. This particular unit has a dust cover which we'll remove so we can have the flange inset as close to the wheel as we can. I'm going to install the flange assembly as close to the wheel as possible while still allowing proper clearance between the tire and support arm. A person could leave their dust cover on and add the spacers, but we recommend that you try and use as little as parts as possible. After standoffs and or spacers are installed and tightened, and the universal axle adapter with bolts and washers are also tightened, we are then going to install the taper drum over the square lock, place the washer, the nut, and wrench tighten. We are now going to install the ball swivel. There is a spacer and the swivel. Remove your existing ball, or if you need to buy a ball, the requirement is a 3/4 inch shaft, with the shaft being long enough to incorporate the 1 1/4 spacer and base material that you are mounting to. Install the spacer, swivel over the spacer, place back into your mount. Tighten the ball, check your swivel, and you're ready. We now move to the stand. If you notice the parts, you have the stand, you have the static arm braces, rotating axle arm braces. Now we will begin to put the stand together. Remove the hairpins and clevis pins. Slide the small tube into the large tube. In this particular case, we're going to place the stand in the wide stance. Has adjustments for narrow and wide. You will now choose the proper top. This particular case, we're going to use the static arm braces because we are going to support on a non-rotating part underneath the four-wheel. We are now going to place the stand underneath the four-wheeler. Make sure we have enough height adjustment so that when the four-wheeler backs onto the stand, the rear wheels will rotate. You'll place the four-wheeler, four-wheel drive, reverse, back onto the stand, put the four-wheeler back into two-wheel drive, and the rear wheels should rotate freely. This particular case, we're going to put the four-wheeler on the stand by hand. We now move to the pulley bar. You're going to thread the pulley bar onto the ball swivel. You're now going to thread the adjustable pulley into the end of the pulley bar. You're now going to thread the brace arm onto the adjustable pulley. Visually look down the end of the pulley to your drum. The rope needs to be aligned to the top of the taper depression into the drum. We now move to the swivel pulley. Pull the clevis pin, remove the pulley, place the rope in the pulley groove, reinstall the pulley with the clevis pin, washer, and hairpin. Place the rope in the guides. Hang the swivel pulley onto its hook. Drop the rope into the adjustable pulley. Then run the rope to the drum, double checking your alignment to the top of the taper. We recommend using 4 wraps. Make sure your four-wheeler is anchored properly before beginning pulls. We recommend the operation is a 3-person operation. A person on the rope, a person on the throttle and brake, and a person at the object being retrieved if the object has any risk of hanging or catching up on anything. Also advisable to be in radio contact. Recommend non-stretch, double-braided poly rope that over exceeds your needs.